I haven't had a dental cleaning in 45 years. I haven't had a cavity. I don't have gum disease. Dentists have prodded my gums and poked and looked and tried to find pockets. They've tried to find deposits in my carotid arteries. They've measured my A1C and CRP for inflammation. I don't floss. I don't have cleanings. Why is that? It's because my biofilm is healthy. My biofilm protects my teeth from infection. This is a completely new concept, but this is the concept I want you to get. We have known for about 15 years that the mouth has a huge selection of healthy bacteria in it. This is why my approach to dentistry has been so different. Not killing bacteria, not scraping the teeth every 6 months, trying to remove all the bacteria in the mouth, but actually promoting healthy bacteria and allowing saliva, the liquid, the spit in your mouth, adequate time, because that is the liquid that will support and nurture your teeth and this population of oral microbes that we want so badly, because they are the ones that actually can prevent cavities and prevent us getting dental diseases like gum disease, periodontal disease. And so now this is known a lot more by a lot more people, but there is an industry jumping into the void. And the void is, of course, salivary testing. It's kind of fun to think you can test and know the bacteria in your mouth at home without having to go to a dental appointment. And I just want to explain what those tests can give you, what they can tell you, and what they also should be viewed with a little bit of caution. And in order to do this, I want to explain that in your mouth, and forgive the drawing of the mouth, but it's the best I could do. In this mouth, you have bacteria that float, literally float, in droplets of saliva that are everywhere in your mouth. These bacteria are called planktonic bacteria, and they literally float around in the liquids of your mouth. They coat every surface. They are all over your teeth. They are all over your gums. They are down your throat. They connect everywhere. And these are the bacteria in your saliva that you would be testing if you took a salivary sample and sent it away for analysis. And what this will tell you, and what this is good for telling, is if you have a huge population, for example, of bacteria that are cavity forming. The most famous of these bacteria is Streptococcus mutans. And it's a bacteria that's really sticky. And when it's in your saliva and it touches your teeth, these bacteria literally glue themselves to your teeth. And they are the ones that feed on sugars in your diet. Every time you eat, the sugars dissolve in your saliva, feed these bacteria, whether they're planktonic or whether they're stuck on your tooth because they've decided to stay on your tooth. And the ones on your tooth, when they feed on the sugars, are able to multiply. And this is the multiplication of Streptococcus mutans and their buddies, because bacteria have buddy groups, just like people do. And the buddy groups of the bad bacteria all like the same kind of environment. They like it when your mouth's acidic or when it's kind of dry. So these plaque-forming, cavity-forming bacteria group together, they feed on sugars, they grow thicker and larger in volume, and that is the essence of the problem that's been in the mouth for hundreds of years that causes cavities. It's the problem called plaque. So you can test your saliva and find the levels of strep mutans in your saliva and know if you are at risk for cavities because you have a lot of plaque-forming bacteria. And I think that's a very good test. And there have been tests for these strep mutans now for a long, long time. Those of you who know the system that I recommend, I did a group of 20 people back in the 1990s who were using my complete mouth care system. And we did the Streptococcus mutans salivary test back then with a gentleman at the University of California who is developing these tests. And he didn't reply. I didn't get a result. When I called him up, it turns out he thought something was wrong with the test because nobody had high levels of Streptococcus mutans. And that was so unusual, he thought there was a problem with the testing. It was, in fact, that my complete mouth care system has this incredible effect to lower the Streptococcus mutans levels in about 6 months. So that's one of the kinds of bacteria that you can measure in your mouth. And you could do a test before, you could use my complete mouth care system, say for 6 months, and you could test again. Many, many people have done that recently, and they confirm same results. You get rid of the Streptococcus mutans problem in your mouth, and then you develop. The cool thing is when you get rid of these bad guys, the good guys come in and you develop this wide diversity of healthy bacteria in your mouth. Now, the other bacteria that you can measure are bacteria that are involved in periodontal disease, the gum disease that gets under the gum. And you're not actually measuring so much the bacteria under the gum, obviously, but you're measuring the proliferation, the multiplication of the bacteria that are under your gums. Because if they're growing under the gums, they are going to be floating around in your saliva. There will always be a few floating in your saliva. These are called opportunistic bacteria. There are always a few. You can't help it. They are transferable as we kiss and we interact and we talk with friends and family. We are going to transfer the bacteria in our saliva. These planktonic bacteria travel between friends. If you share dips or foods or drinks or straws, you are going to share bacteria. That doesn't mean you become terrified. It means you need to make your mouth healthy. And then you share your healthy bacteria, which is what everybody wants, a good supply of healthy bacteria. There are too few people doing that in the world. And I encourage you, take control of your mouth health and then share these good bacteria with those you care about, those you love. Kiss your babies. Don't be scared, but just clean your mouth first. And these periodontal bacteria, there are 11 kinds that we know are very, very serious. Because if they start multiplying, if they start showing up in big numbers in your saliva, you can be at risk for them entering your bloodstream from the gum pockets and potentially causing problems in your heart, your lungs, your digestive system. They can cause rheumatoid arthritis. They can be a problem for heart valves. There are so many systemic issues that we are now learning about, the connection between bad bacteria that are in the mouth and your systemic health, your overall body health, particularly important when you're pregnant. And so one of the things that you really need to be on is a good program of mouth care when you are pregnant. And this is because, unfortunately, the odds are stacked against you when you're pregnant. Your saliva becomes acidic. And if you were listening carefully at the beginning, I told you that the kinds of bacteria you don't want, those plaque-loving, sticky, nasty, sugar-eating bacteria, love mouth acidity. And when you're pregnant and your own saliva is the problem, there is almost nothing you can do about it. This is why using the recommendations that I make, the habits of eating xylitol at the end of meals, and then not eating or drinking afterwards, the habits of using good oral care products that we know control these mouth bacteria. We've done testing on people who had high levels of these periodontal pathogens in their saliva. And at the end of 3 months, they were able to have these levels of these bacteria suppressed to an okay level. In 6 months, they were where they really should be in healthy people, and in more like 24 months for somebody with diabetes, somebody with some chronic health problems. It may take a little longer, but you will quickly get under the level of concern. And then if you keep at it using my complete mouth care system, you will depress the levels of these periodontal bacteria that you don't want. And eventually you will heal up the periodontal pockets and get everything under control. That's the wonderful news. So good testing, saliva testing, is really good to find out what is wrong, the bad guys in your mouth. The problem with salivary testing is that it really cannot tell you if you have a healthy mouth. You see, the problem is we don't know what is a healthy mouth. There is no gold standard for the bacteria of a healthy mouth. We know that certain bacteria in our mouth actually use nitrates from saliva. They take these nitrates from saliva and they create nitric oxide. If you're able to produce nitric oxide, it gives us the impression that your mouth must be pretty healthy. I've always said this in my book, Mouth Care Comes Clean. I talk about denitrifying bacteria. These are the bacteria that take nitrates and turn them into nitric oxide. I believe they are the keystone. I believe they are the centerpiece of a healthy mouth microflora, the garden of the mouth. But the rest of them, what kinds do we want? This is a really difficult question to answer. And the reason that it's a difficult question to answer is that nobody really knows. There's been no testing to prove certain bacteria exist in a healthy mouth. And don't be misled by the people who are taking salivary tests and telling you that they know, because they don't. You see, what's really important in a healthy mouth are the bacteria that are coated on the outside of your teeth. See, 20% of the bacteria in your mouth float in saliva. These are called planktonic, but 80% of the bacteria are in biofilm. They are woven together with strands of protein from your saliva, and they coat the surfaces of your mouth. They coat everywhere in a kind of slime, you could call it. It's a protein woven with these bacteria inside them. Yes, if you have unhealthy plaque-forming bacteria that get into the biofilm on your teeth and start expanding it, you will have plaque. If you do not have those Streptococcus mutans bacteria, and they do not infect your biofilm because you are using an effective mouth care regimen, like I do, then you have all the symptoms of a healthy mouth. I haven't had a dental cleaning in 45 years. I haven't had a cavity. I don't have gum disease. Dentists have prodded my gums and poked and looked and tried to find pockets. They've tried to find deposits in my carotid arteries. They've measured my A1C and CRP for inflammation. I don't floss. I don't have cleanings. Why is that? It's because my biofilm is healthy. My biofilm protects my teeth from infection. This is a completely new concept, but this is the concept I want you to get. Because what we need to be measuring to know whether our mouths are healthy or not is the biofilm. What's the biofilm community look like? I don't really care as much about what's floating in my mouth in the way of bacteria because they are affected by everything. Every time we drink a glass of water, we are washing the bacteria in our mouth away. These bacteria, these 20%, they come right back, of course, because they come from all the other areas of our mouth where they've been hiding under our gums and connected with our nose and our throat. And yes, you're not going to extinguish them because you swish some water around your mouth. But you're not going to change the composition of the biofilm on your teeth. That composition of biofilm is incredibly tenacious. The extraordinary thing is they have discovered with genomic testing that our biofilm on our teeth of an adult, 40% of it developed during childhood. And there are familial patterns, patterns within families. You don't just wash those away. You don't wash them away with a glass of water, a hot cup of coffee, or lo and behold, you don't wash them away with Listerine or anything else. There are studies that have been done on biofilm. You ask a periodontist. He can't give you chlorhexidine, which is about the most powerful antiseptic mouthwash ever invented. I've never prescribed it. Please don't use it. But even if you rinsed with that, that would kill all these guys in your mouth. It does very little to change the composition of your biofilm. That is why periodontists tell you you've got to keep coming back every 4 months, every 3 months for cleaning. This is because they don't know how to change the composition of the biofilm. If a periodontist was so sure you could just rinse with Listerine and it killed everything, they'd be out of business in a week. It doesn't happen like that. Don't let these people tell you that. It is wrong. There are certainly ways to modulate the biofilm on your teeth. And that is how much sugar you eat all the time, of course, that's number one. How much acidity you allow to exist in your mouth, that's number two. And then the oral care products that you use, whether they are stripping your teeth of naturally good bacteria unnecessarily, how often you go for cleanings at the dentist, and I would encourage you, if you don't need them, to not have them. Certainly not as often. They are not as helpful as you have been trained to believe. I know that's a catastrophic comment, but it is the truth. I wouldn't tell my children. They go about every 2 to 3 years for a checkup, and they usually ask not to have a cleaning, please. Sometimes they can't get away with it because everyone's so keen to do the cleaning. They just, okay, they'll do it. And then they get back on their program and develop back the healthy biofilm. I refuse to have a cleaning and have done now for a long time. So try and get a balanced view of the bacteria in your mouth and the difference between planktonic bacteria that float around and the really important bacteria that are in your healthy, hopefully healthy, oral biofilm. And if you see studies where they're telling you this or that was good for mouth health, good to get rid of plaque, there's lots of new studies out there. They are focused and targeted usually on either killing the bacteria in the mouth, that would be these planktonic ones, and we're not sure what that actually does or doesn't do, because we're not really sure what bacteria look like. I can't draw you a picture of exactly which bacteria should be in your mouth. Hopefully we'll find that out next. But don't be misled. Understand, there's a difference between the delicate planktonic bacteria and the really, really durable, nature's organized biofilm that is there as your bulletproof protection for your teeth and your gums, to protect them and defend your teeth and your gums from disease and from damage.